Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of GemmaDarlingDaily. I'm Danielle. I am Gemma Darling on Ravelry and Gemma Darlings on Instagram if you'd like to contact me or follow along. I haven't podcasted in a while, guys. I've had so much going on. One of my friends is getting married and my daughter turned 2 and there was just so many parties to plan and I just didn't have any time and I'm so very sorry. Even my Instagram, you guys could tell, did not have a lot of yarny goodness on it. But I have some time today because Puppy isn't feeling super well, so I'm here with him and my daughter is with my parents having a good time. And so, it's just like a good day for me and the pup, I think he remembers the times before Franny where he could just lay with me all day and he was the center of my attention, and now the attention is split and I feel guilty about that. Do you guys ever feel like that? I feel guilty about it, but he is a well-loved puppy, and so he's comfortable in his little bed over here. I'm sure he'll be joining in a little while. So I have so much stuff to talk to you guys about. I have 2 giveaways that we're going to get underway. I have a Destash to talk about. I have a whip and an almost FO. What's an almost FO called? An AFO? We need to come up with a name. It's like, it just needs to be finished. And it's not that I don't want to finish it. It's that I can't figure out how to finish it. Because the way the pattern calls for, it's not super hot to me. So, oh, and yes, and I cut my bangs. So I'm going to be touching them all episode. Just letting you know. Okay. So let's jump in. I've got my notes here. Let's see. Destash info. Okay, I started an Instagram page called GemmaDarlingDaily, and I'm going to be doing the Destash right there on Instagram. I'm just going to be showing you the pictures, and it's going to, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I have to put all of the pictures and the listings up. So tonight at midnight, which is Thursday night at midnight, I'm going to deactivate the account. And then Friday at noon, which is the 11th, it's going to go up live again and it will have all the listings there. And that is at noon Eastern Standard Time, which is New York City time. So it's 9 o'clock a.m. in LA and I believe about 5 or 6 hours ahead in Europe. Some people were asking me if I'm going to ship internationally. Well, this is how it's going to go. You see the listing. If you're the first one to comment sold, I will direct message you and you'll give me your address and your email address and I will find out how much shipping is going to cost. So if you're shipping it far, I don't know that it'll be really worth it. I'm thinking that maybe Europe is the farthest it would go because it is expensive to ship things, and as much as I know you probably would want the yarn, it could be double or triple the price of the skein to buy it from me here in America if you're somewhere really far away. Here in America, it's not that bad, so I'm thinking like it's probably about going to be $3 to $4 for one skein, and then like I'll have to calculate all the shipping. So I will, after I direct message you and you give me your address and your email address, I will then figure out the shipping and I will send you a PayPal invoice. So please have your PayPal ready. That is my preferred way to pay. I just feel like it's safer. And so if you see that the shipping and handling charge is just too much for you and you don't want to do it, just let me know and I will just give the listing to the next person that commented sold. So if you see on a listing that someone has already commented sold and you feel they are going to get the skein but you want it, comment sold underneath it, because if something falls through with that first order, I'm going to go to the second person or even the third. So just keep other comments to yourself. Like, I know that the skeins are beautiful and things like that. Let's just comment sold. Okay, it's just easier for me to weed through. So thanks, guys. I am going to be doing it by weight. So we're going to start out with DK, and DK is going to be on Friday, and then I'm going to see how that goes. I think I'm going to try to put up fingering weight on Sunday or Monday, and then all other weights that I have, like if I have a sport weight or an Aran weight, that stuff might go out up middle of next week. So I will be posting all of these information mostly to my Insta story in that account. So follow GemmaDarlingDaily if you're interested in snagging a skein from my personal stash. And a lot of people have been asking me if it's just going to be Hedgehog, and it isn't. I do have a lot of Hedgehog because it is one of my favorite brands, but I have bins and bins of Hedgehog. So there is no shortage here if I part with a few. I have, let's see, I have a couple Yushatitas. I'm looking over and I'm trying to think. I have a kit for a Camaro sweater from Tennis Fiber Arts. I have some what's it called? Barnyard Knits. I have some of that. You're going to see it all when it goes up. Let's see, there's some Vita Lifestyle yarn, which is really, really great. I just haven't gotten to the projects that I bought it for, so I'm passing it along. What else? I think that's it. I'm sure there's more. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm looking at the cart that has it all on it. Everything's been bagged in plastic because I like to keep everything fresh as possible. So I hope you guys will join me there. It's going to be Friday at noon. It's all dropping. I was lucky enough to go down to Chelsea Yarns in Red Bank, New Jersey for local yarn store day. And I have been dying to go down to that store for such a long time. I met Christina at EYF. I had never met her before, and we are like instant friends. That girl is awesome. Her store is beautiful. It's well stocked. I mean, I'm sure you guys, if you're watching this, you probably watched the little video that I made on local yarn store day at Chelsea Yarns. If you haven't seen it yet, please go watch it. I think it's fun. It's just a beautiful store. She has so many different weights, so many different types of yarn. Like if you want rustic yarns, they're there. If you want some indie dyed delicate yarns, they're there. She's got incredible brands. Some brands that are like, you know, big brands and some brands that are indie brands. And it's just a really great mix. I think that she does a great job shopping for the store. She has a lot of great project bags and like there's just so much to look at. So it's in such a good location. It's on this little side street right by the main drag in Red Bank, New Jersey, it has one of the best downtown neighborhoods, I think, in all of New Jersey. I used to go there a lot with one of my friends who lives in a neighboring town when we were in college, and he and I, we really liked Kevin Smith movies and Jay and Silent Bob, and they have their store there. So we used to go to the store. It was brand new then, and it just celebrated its 20th anniversary. So talk about feeling old. Anyway, you don't want to hear about that. Let's talk about the yarn that I got at Chelsea Yarns. Now, obviously I'm doing a destash, so I do not need to buy a lot of yarn. But I couldn't help it. And I really wanted to get my hands on some of her house-dyed yarn, Chelsea Luxe, but it was like gone by the time I got there. And local yarn store day was Saturday, but the New Jersey Wool Walk was going on, and that started on Thursday. So she had pretty much been wiped out by the time I got there on Saturday, but that's okay because she had all this candy and refreshments, and I just pretty much stood around the candy table with my friend Nicole and Red Bank Mike, who is awesome, by the way. I just enjoyed meeting these people so much. So let me show you what I got from the store. Caitlin Hunter has a new pattern coming out, and I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, so next time Christy Glass goes to visit her, she'll have to ask her how to pronounce this one. I think it's Sipila, S-I-P-I-L-A, so we'll call it Sipila. And I think it is her grandmother's maiden name, or it was named after her grandmother. I'm not exactly sure if it was a first name or a last name, but I love things that are named after grandmothers. You guys know I love my grandmother. See, I have a picture of my grandparents right here. They used to make wedding pictures into mirrors, so she used to keep this in her purse, and I keep it with me now. Anyway, tangent. That's the Mima. So there was so much stuff in this store. It was actually kind of overwhelming when I walked in, so I, wanted to make my little video, and then I put down the camera and I went shopping. And anytime I see Backyard Fiberworks, I grab some. I don't know if you guys remember from my Vogue Knitting Live video, I actually left that booth thinking, I do not need any more yarn. I don't need any more yarn. And I made a circle and came right back, and Felicia from String Things Studio was working, and she was just laughing at me. She's like, couldn't do it, could you? I was like, nope, had to get it, because they make the most gorgeous berry colors. So here's the tag, Backyard Fiberworks, And this base is their Meadow Light. It is an MCN. It's 435 yards, which is a nice amount. And it's just called Berry. And berry pinks are one of my favorite colors to knit with. So there's that. And she only had 3 of them, so I bought all 3. Because I've stopped buying skeins in single one-offs because you can't make anything. I mean, I'm not much of a shawl knitter. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I wasn't super into the fades. I love Andrea Mowry's patterns, but I didn't make any of the fades. I made, I'm going to make her Winter Honey, and that's all one color. So I actually think a lot of her designs are really rustic and chunky and great to keep you warm. And those are the patterns of hers that I think I am going to enjoy more once I get to them in my queue. She's brilliant. Don't you just love her? She's wonderful. So this is Backyard Fiberworks in Berry. And I cannot wait to knit this because it feels like a cloud. So I bought that. And then let's see. Guys, you're going to see this color a lot. This is my favorite Mad Tosh colorway, and it's called Glazed Pecan. And it is probably one of the best auburn amber colors. This is not auburn. I guess it's amber. It's so beautiful. And I really, really love it. So I had wanted to make the new... what was I talking about before? Sapila. That is the new Caitlin Hunter pattern, and this is going to be the body of it. Okay. So it's got a lot of yoke work, and then she has a short sleeve version, a long sleeve version, and I'm going to make the long sleeve version because this is going to be my Indian tangled sweater. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to use for the contrasting color yet. One of my favorite colors that I have is Peony by Hooker's Corner. And guys, Hooker's Corner, Kathy from Hooker's Corner, she's one of my best Insta friends. Like, we talk all the time. She is such a wonderful person. Please buy her yarn. It's beautiful. This is my favorite light pink. It's called Peony. I used it in one of the shawls that I made. We'll talk about that in a second. My Flying Fringe. Because I had a dark color and a really light color, and I needed something in the middle. But since it didn't have any speckles in it, I just coupled it with the one, coupled it with the other, and it smoothed out the fade. It was great. And so I think it might look really pretty in the contrast for the Sapila sweater. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to use this. I might want something that has a little bit more speckle to it just to create some interest, but it's a very small color work yoke, meaning there are very small repeats instead of the bigger one like the Sunset Highway or the Tecumseh, something like of that nature. So I think that maybe keeping it tonal is a better bet. So far that's what I have planned for my Sapila. I really hope I'm saying it right. I'm probably not. I do have show notes this time because I don't want to forget anything, so that's good. Let's see. Chelsea Yarn strip. Guys, I cannot talk about them enough. I love them. That is all I bought from Chelsea Yarns. I bought those 4 skeins and the 3 skeins. Well, that's 7 skeins of yarn. I guess that's pretty good. But, I mean, she gave us pins for everything. She was the nicest person, and I'm talking about Christina, the owner. She gave me stuff to give away to you guys also, which I'm really, really excited about. So, I've got the Chelsea Pearls podcast pin. I have one for you and one for me. I have the Chelsea Luxe hand-dyed yarn. Can you see that? Pooper's snoring. It's so cute. All right. And then I have, she gave me a needle gauge. That's coming at you. And then an enamel pin. And then one of the colorways from the Wool Walk, she named this one Walk Baby Walk, and this is a skein of Chelsea Luxe. Look at that. Guys, it's 400 yards of superwash, and it's skinny singles. And guys, it's so beautiful in person, so gorgeous. So And I was going to buy it to have a giveaway. I was just going to buy it because I like to support and shop local, but she gave it to me. She gifted it to me with all of that stuff for you guys. So I'm going to be starting a Ravelry thread that'll say Chelsea Yarns giveaway. And I'll put a question at the top and you guys have to answer the question. And then every time you answer the question, it is an entry. And I think I'll let everybody do 2. Don't enter more than twice. I just don't think it's fair. But I'm going to put that in my Ravelry group. And then next podcast, I'll pick a winner. Yay! Now, if you are not in America, Canada, or Europe, I am going to have to ask that you chip in for shipping and handling if you are somewhere really far away on the globe and you win the contest. So please have that in mind when you enter. Sorry about it. I wish shipping things were free. I wish that we all lived super close so we could all know each other, but it's just not the case. And sometimes shipping is really killer. So please have that in mind. And that's that. So let's talk about my whips. So I did finish my fade. It's pretty good, right? I mean, it's pretty good. Look at that. Wait, how did I hold this up? Let's try it like this. Okay. So it started here. Look at that, guys. Oh, it's really good. Now, this is the Flying Fringe by Beata Gizik from Hedgehog Fibers, and it's a free pattern on hedgehogfibers.com. I do recommend it. It's a simple mommy knit. I've said that before. And what is a mommy knit? It's something that you can knit while you are watching your child, and you can throw it down if you have to go catch your child. So, you know, not much counting involved. You just need to know right side and wrong side. Now, that being said, when you start in the corner, you're supposed to increase to 90 stitches. I increased to 120 just because I wanted it to be more of a wrap than a scarf. So it's very thick, mine. And once I haven't blocked it yet, I think it'll loosen up it's a little bit tight. It called for, I think, a size 4 needle, and I knitted it on a 5. I don't really recall, but whatever the pattern calls for, I went up a needle size because I wanted it to be a little bit more airy, and it's still pretty tight. So if you wanted to have more drape, I suggest going up a needle size or 2 just to give it more drape, because you are holding 2 strands of singles together, which does create a DK weight. So it is a heavy, heavy scarf. Now, you're supposed to add all the new colors on one side. And this is the wrong side. So when you start a wrong side row, you're adding the new colors. And that is where you're supposed to add the fringe at the end. So I have all these strings hanging from it. And when I went to add the fringe, I didn't like it. Because skinny singles are very sticky. And the fringe just looked like a clumpy mess. So I kept cutting the fringe shorter and shorter and shorter. And then it just looked weird. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might put tiny tassels all over it on one side and just be done with that. But that's going to take me a while because this thing is 6 feet long. I chose a fade that had, I think, 11 skeins to my fade. But it's good. It's good. It's good. And I'm very happy with the way that it came out. So I just have to finish that. But hey, the hot season is here. I should finish it, but I probably won't. And then I'll be like hurrying to get it done before Rhinebeck because I'll want to wear it to Rhinebeck. That's who I am. Now, do I sound like a teacher? Next, students, we're going to discuss this. Let's go into my Millie sweater. Now, do I say now a lot? Okay, maybe I do. Everyone has their idiosyncrasies, people. I touch my hair and I say now a lot. So I picked up this, it was a whip that I kind of lost some steam on it just because it has make one left, make one right, and I was counting every row like intensely, and it's this really light fingering yarn. So it was kind of tiring me out, but that was self-inflicted. That is not something that you have to do. You don't have to count every row perfectly. I mean, I'd say every couple rows, every 3 rows, so that if you have to rip back, you're not ripping back a ton, but this is such a simple pattern, and I'm really, really liking the fabric I'm getting. Let me show you the yarn I'm using. This is a pattern by Nice and Knit, Cara and Katie, two sisters from Massachusetts, who I adore. I love them. Every time I see them, I just want to squeeze them and hug them. They're hysterical. And they are really, really beautiful yarn dyers. So I went to one of their trunk shows and I bought 2 skeins of this and they gifted me a third just in case I needed it. And this is called Scrubby Pines. They're not actually dyeing it right now. It's one of their fall colors. So I did text one of them on Instagram and they are going to be dyeing it up again for fall. So if you are interested, stay tuned. But I saw them wearing the Millie sweater at the trunk show and I was like, I have to make that sweater. It's a simple boxy sweater with tiny sleeves. So if you're stuck on Sleeve Island, you're not going to be there very long. And this is how it's coming out so far. Now, I made a mortal mistake. I think I've mentioned this in other podcasts. You're supposed to cast on with a size 5 needle, and then once you're done with the ribbing, you're supposed to change to a 7 to go into the body. Danny didn't change to a 7. Danny knit the entire thing in a 5. So instead of making the small medium, which is what I was going to make, I decided instead of ripping, I was just going to make the medium large. So I just kept increasing and increasing and doing the rounds and rounds, and instead of splitting for the sleeves where the small medium said to, I split for the sleeves where it says the medium large should be. So I didn't swatch, I didn't do any of that, so if this doesn't fit, it's on me, but I'm really enjoying the knit. And some people really are excited to wear their patterns, and I really just like knitting. You know, I have stuff I've made and I really never put it on. I just really like knitting it. So this might be a gift for one of my friends who moved to LA because she goes between New York and LA, and those are 2 extremes. It's really hot out there, and in the winter it's really cold here. So she made up something called Faux Fall, which is really lightweight sweaters that will work in both places. So this sweater I consider Faux Fall, though it is 100% superwash merino, and merino is insanely warm, so she'll probably be sweating. Hey, that's her problem. Anyway, I'm really excited. I'm going to wear it a little bit before I gift it to her because that's what I'm going to do from now on. Instead of just knitting for other people, I'm going to wear it a little bit and then I'm going to gift it to them. So they'll get used knitted pieces. Hey, I still knit her a sweater. She has nothing to complain about. It's top down, which is really great. So you can, I went with the pattern and I measured exactly to what they said. I think it was 6 inches from the armpit to the end. I'm not talking well today, I'm very sorry. And then you start the ribbing, and it's 4 inches of ribbing at the bottom. So if you really want to make it longer, I would make it longer before you start the ribbing because it would kind of look weird if you do more than 4 inches of ribbing at the bottom. But so I started that, and that's coming out pretty good. I really love this yarn. It's delicate, and I can feel it. It's going to be really, really warm. And I love all the colors in here. I can't even express this enough that, look at the amber tones. Do you see that? Right, like there? That, and then it's got bits of pink in it. Do you see the pink? Look at that. I mean, the base is actually, I would say, like a light gray or like a taupe color. And it's got the greens and the pinks running through it. And guys, it's just so beautiful. So I'm knitting this on my Haya Sharps because I think that they do a really great job when you're doing something with fingering weight yarn that is plied. I don't really think that you need such a sharp tip if you're using singles because you usually don't knit through a single, right? But you can knit through a ply when you're doing it using a sock yarn. So I'm using my Hayas. And they're from my interchangeable set. And I lost one of these because my daughter took it off. And she handed me the project and said, knit. And then I never saw the other one again. So that's cool. I'm sure I'll find it in some weird place. Luckily, she's past the phase where she puts stuff in her mouth, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm sure I'll find that in like a dollhouse or something later on. I have really been a quite monogamous knitter lately. And it's because I realized that when I had a lot of things on my needles, I wasn't finishing anything. And I really want to finish things because one thing that this Destash is teaching me is that I have beautiful, beautiful yarn and I want to make them into things. And a lot of it is, I need to catch my breath there. And a lot of it is I've bought for reasons. Like I have projects in mind that I want to make. I don't want to not make these things because I have 9 things on the needles and I'm just not getting to it. You know what I mean? So, there is something I'm dying to cast on though. You all saw that Christy Glass went out to the Pacific Northwest with Well Knits, Melissa, and they met Caitlin Hunter, and I was just like foaming at the mouth with jealousy because that trip just looked amazing. But I have never knit one of her patterns yet. I haven't done color work and I'm looking forward to it. And so I have picked out 2 of her patterns to do as my Rhinebeck sweaters. Now, I know I've said that I'm going to be doing the portage as my Rhinebeck sweater, and I'm going to do that if I get to it. Because I have an outfit that I want to wear. I know it's only May. I should plan my outfits for October. I have an outfit that I want to wear to Rhinebeck, and I would love to have the portage over that as my cardigan. But I don't know. It looks like these Caitlin Hunter patterns, like people are knitting them quite fast. And so I'm going to do it. So the first one was the, let's see, Sapila. That one I'm going to cast on soon with what I showed you. And then I really want to make a Tecumseh. And I don't know if I'm a big fan of the shields on the pattern, but I'm looking at ones that have been made by other people in all different colors, and they're really, really good. So I picked out my colors for it, and I want to show you them because they are by one of my favorite dyers, Brittany from Machete Shop, which I have already said her name like 1,000 times on this podcast. But guys, go to macheteshop.com. Her stuff is so pretty. It's just dreamy. Like, she's just a wonderful dyer. You know, she really, really, she gets it. You know, some people, they just have it. She's got it. So this is one of my favorite colorways. It's called Tula. And it's this light pink with golds and browns in it. And I think this is going to be the body. And so I'm really, really excited about that. I want to see how that knits up. And this is in her Dirty DK base, which is a 75-25 superwash and nylon. So it's super soft. I mean, let's face it, the nylon gives it a lot of softness. And as we all learned on the Stitch Dimension with Christy Glass, nylon is made out of tree fibers, which I did not know. I thought it was a synthetic, and it is not. And I might be wrong, but that is what I learned. So if you're not watching the Stitch Dimension, guys, she's great, and her outfits are worth tuning in for. But back to Tecumseh. So this is going to be the body, and then this is going to be the crosses. This is Glazed Pecan in DK from Mad Tosh. And so that's going to be the crosses. And then this is called Sassenach from Machete Shop, and this is going to be the shields. And so that's my Tecumseh. It's a very light, airy coloring for a very heavy, gorgeous, bulky sweater that I cannot wait to just throw on with jeans. So I'm looking forward to casting that on. My Millie, as I said, I'm almost done. I'm on the bottom ribbing, and then I get to Sleeve Island with that, but the sleeves are like 4 inches long. They're teeny tiny. And I bought Flexi Flips at Chelsea Yarns for them. So I think that that'll go super fast, I think. And I'm going to try to get that done. I'd like to have it done by next week, but I'm doing my friend's wedding invitations, and these invitations are just the project that will never end. So, so I have to get those out, and then I'll go back to my knitting. I haven't been doing much knitting because of that. I'm kind of out of breath today. Oh, puppy's snoring. All right, so that's that. Guys, I got the most amazing package from a knitter that I met at EYF. Her name is Jennifer, and let's see. She sent me yarns that she dyed herself, and she sent me one yarn from one of her favorite indie dyers called Sassy Sheep Yarns, and this is called Raspberry Rose. And on Etsy, this is Sassy Sheep Studio. Look at that color. Is that not my color? And I believe you say her last name. Her name is Jennifer Verstraeten. I believe that's how you say her name. And she has a podcast, and I will put the info in the down bar right here. She's from the Netherlands, but she does broadcast in English, I believe. So you guys should tune in. She was extremely generous with me. Look at this. Oh, I love it, Jennifer. I love it. And these are the ones that she dyed herself. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at that. So pretty. And she sent me this big box full of candy from the Netherlands, and it's gone. Like, I would show it to you, but it's gone. I have a husband with a sweet tooth and a child who likes black licorice, weirdly enough, and it's gone. I ate the huge chocolate bar that you sent, though. I ate that myself. Yeah. So thank you so very much. I am enjoying our friendship. We talk a lot, and so I'm enjoying our friendship, and I'm really glad that we met. Thank you. So guys, what's next? Let's consult the show notes here. I have been getting some gifts lately, and I'm usually a pretty humble person. I don't like to receive. I'd rather gift, but my friend Amelia made me a pair of hand-knit socks, which I feel so bad. I'm podcasting on a whim today because I didn't know that I thought I was going to be going to the city today to meet my husband for lunch, but he had a lot of work to do, so my daughter went to my parents. And the socks are in the wash right now. And I'm so sorry, Amelia, but oh my God, do I love them. I love them. I've never had a pair of hand-knit socks on my feet before. Yours were my first. I lost my virginity to your socks. They're beautiful. And she made them out of a colorway I had gifted her when she wasn't feeling well. I sent her some yarn, and she sent it back to me in the form of a sock, and it's a homespun house. Molly from a homespun house makes the most gorgeous yarns, and this one had gold stellina in it, and golds and berries and greens, and I think it was a holiday colorway, and I just love them. I love them. And my husband was like, why do you have hand-knit socks? Why don't you knit me socks? So now I have to figure out how to knit him socks, so thanks, Amelia. I just love you. I'm so glad we became friends. And I'm glad we met at Rhinebeck, and I hope to see you again this year. And I hope you're feeling well. You're such a sweet person. Thank you for your continued generosity. Sincerely. And then, do you guys know LuLaRoe Van Ray? So if you're not following her, you have to follow her. She is so sweet. I met her at Vogue, and she gifted me a pair of leggings for Franny they were purple, of course, and they had little sheep all over them. So I went on her page, which I'll put in the down bar here, and I ordered a bunch of LuLaRoe leggings, which are pretty freaking fantastic. And I ordered a pair for Franny and 2 pairs for myself, and she sent me another pair for Franny for her birthday that are purple, and Franny loves them. She goes in her drawer every morning, and she always pulls out a pair that you sent her, Vanessa, and she wants to wear them. Today, she kind of dressed herself, and she didn't match, and she looked crazy, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to stop her creativity. She was trying to put the shirt on herself, and she went through the neck hole instead of the bottom, so she's standing there with her arm. It was just really funny. Again, thank you, though, for the present, and thank you all for the well wishes for Franny's birthday. I can't believe I have a 2-year-old. Oh my gosh. She's so smart and precocious and fun, and I hope you guys will get to meet her at Rhinebeck. Last time I podcast, I said I'd be doing some Dyer spotlights, and I really love Alex Creates Yarn by Alex Reynoso, and I call him a kid because I'm so much older than him, but he's not a kid. But I mean, that is a talented kid. I mean, he's in school for pottery, and he throws these gorgeous pots if you follow him on Instagram and his Insta stories. And his yarns are unique. So a month or 2 ago, he said that he was doing a push because he needed to pay some rent for his studio, which more power to him to just ask for help when he needs it. I really enjoy that in someone who can just say, hey guys, this is the deal. Help me out. And so I ordered some of his yarn that I had been looking at and wanting, and I just needed that push. So this is the yarn that I bought. First of all, his stuff comes in these little hand-dyed pouches. And it's got his logo on it, which is the bunny skein with the ears. I love. And I bought 5 skeins. So this is called Concrete, which is a skinny single 400 yards. And it's a really pretty tonal gray. Look at that. I mean, this is going to come in so handy. I don't know if I'm going to use it all in one project or if I'm going to use it in multiple projects, because It's just beautiful. It has a slight hint of like a little purplish. I love that. I love when they look like that. But it looks totally different in different light. Because when I first got it, I was in my living room, which is not a very well lit room to begin with. And I pulled it out and I was like, oh, it's purple. Oh, I thought it was gray. And now I'm up here in the natural sunlight and it's totally gray. Like if you look at it outside, totally gray. So it's gray, exactly what I ordered. And I love it. I love the tone. The way that his yarns take the dye, I don't know how he does it, but the tonals are really beautiful. Next, this one is called Pennies from Heaven. And it's, you know, some rust colors and some coppers and some berry color. Look at it right there. Look at that. So I really, really love this one. I'm probably going to put this in a shawl because I think it's just, it's really pretty. It's really pretty. I love it. And then this one is one of my favorite colorways. I bought some at Vogue and DK, and it's called Pixie Condo. And I really wish I knew how he named it. Maybe I'll ask him, but I just think that this color is just so beautiful. It's gorgeous. Guys, look at this. Let's unskein it. Oh, look at that. Guys, I think you want this. I think you want it. Look at that. Alex, you're doing a wonderful job and we all love you. You're a good soul and we want to help you out and we want to knit with your yarn. Oh, look at that. So I hope if you haven't heard of him before that you will go to his page. I think it's alexcreates.us. I could be wrong. So look it up on his Instagram, which is @alexcreates. You will not be disappointed. I've ordered from him and I really, really love his stuff. So order from him. I think that's it, guys. I have another giveaway. Okay, so when I was at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, which I'm still riding high off the fumes from that wonderful festival and all the people that I saw, I got some stuff for you guys. So I've showed this before. This is a project bag with the logo from Edinburgh Yarn Fest. Okay, and this could be yours. So let's see what's inside of it. This is a pin from the Yarn Festival. It is their logo. It's definitely upside down. Wait for it. Okay. There we go. Now it looks like a ram. Okay, and then I got this from the little gray girl. And it's just a tiny little pouch. Look at that. You can put stitch markers in here or those little things you put on the top of your needles or anything that you want, or even use it as a change purse. But I really recommend going to the little gray girl. I loved their booth. I should have bought more. This fabric's really fun and I thought I would include it in the giveaway. And then guys, do I not talk about Olan yarn all the time? So I have this one skein called Slow Motion. It's in their sock base, which is 100 grams. It is 425 meters. It's an 80-20, so it's superwash and nylon. And I'm going to give it away, guys. I'm giving it away. Because if you're not using Olan, you need to be. Focus. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so this is going in there also. So that's 3 things and the project bag. And I'm going to start a thread in my Ravelry group that will ask you a question and you respond to the question and I will choose a winner from random number generator next time I podcast. So there you go. You've got that and you've got the giveaway from Chelsea Yarns with the Chelsea Luxe. You'll have both of them to enter and I will choose them on the next podcast, and then I think we have one more giveaway. And let me just say, these giveaways are to celebrate my numbers on Instagram and on my podcast. I have over 1,700 people subscribing to this, which is blowing my mind. Guys, you are flattering me. The way that you interact and comment on things, I feel like I'm making friends and I love that. It's one of the reasons that I podcast. I know that I'm not some riveting knitter to watch. I know that I don't podcast regularly because life happens and I just can't. But thank you so much for sticking with me and for subscribing and following along on Instagram. I mean, Instagram, I think I'm 2,700 followers on Instagram. Like, what? Me? Like, really? And it's just, I'm so flattered, and beyond everything, beyond the numbers, I am just so excited to meet all of you because we're united by something. We're united by fiber. We love to turn string into beautiful things. And so I love this community. And so I just want to thank you all for including me in it. I really appreciate it. I am going to try to podcast more regularly now, and I have a couple videos coming up that they're really not that good. Makes you want to watch them. But I'm going to try and do it a little bit more regularly once I get a lot of her wedding stuff done. As I said, it's just not super easy because sometimes my only free time after dinner and after, cleaning up and then finding time to take a shower myself and bathing my kid and putting her to sleep, sometimes it's midnight and I just want to sit in my craft attic and knit, and I don't want to do anything else. So I just really apologize, but I am going to try to build the channel up a little bit. I have some places I'm going this summer, which should be fun. I'm going to try to go to, Christy Glass is going to be at the knitting place on May 31st. I think it's from 7 to 9 p.m. I'm going to try to go to that. And so there are some things I'm going to try to be doing this summer, maybe experience some new local yarn stores. And my mom has been talking about road tripping to Espace Tricot. And I think that Christina from Chelsea Yarns wants to do that also. So I'm trying to get her to rent a Winnebago and pick us up along the way. Please, Christina, you can bring Red Bank Mike. He can spin kahunas the whole way up to Canada. He could totally do that. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about a couple things I've been doing in my life, and then I'm going to say goodbye. My husband and I went to see David Bowie is at the Brooklyn Museum. If you are able to go to this, and if you like David Bowie at all, I highly recommend it. It was so good. You go through this maze of amazement. A maze of amazement, because all these outfits that he wore, all these personas that he took on, all these appearances that he did. When he was on Saturday Night Live in the outfit, he couldn't walk in it, so they carried him to the microphone and they carried him back. I mean, this is an eccentric guy who's always on the cutting edge, and celebrating him is important. It is, because, people like him are the ones that keep art alive. And what are we if not artists, right? We're artists. And I just love David Bowie. I love his music. My daughter says, Bowie! Bowie! Every time she sees a picture of him, which just makes me feel like I'm winning as a mother. So please go see that if you're able to. It's only till July 15th, and we bought tickets in advance. They're a little bit more pricey, but I think it was worth it because we walked right past the lines. So guys, do it. As I said, Franny turned 2. We had a big party with a lot of family. Because I wanted her to have kids at her party, and since she's not in daycare and she's not in school yet, she doesn't really have any child friends, like little people friends. So all my cousins came with their kids, and that was really wonderful. And I love seeing my cousins because I don't see them enough either. And I remember when we were little, we used to go into our Aunt Jeanette's basement for parties, and she had a piñata one time. We were all over the floor, and this is a basement. It had a low ceiling, and we're Italians, we party in the basement because you put a big long table down the basement and everyone sits there, and that I remember from my childhood. And I want her to know all these people, so that was her birthday party. And it was unicorns, and we wore unicorn horns because that's what you do at a 2-year-old's birthday party. I wore one too. Last Sunday, I threw my friend a wedding shower, which was really interesting. Let's see, I forgot to do the toast. I forgot to give her my present. I forgot to make a speech. I forgot to do a whole bunch of stuff, but guess what? The cheese board was epic. It was on a board that I think was about 3 feet by 2 feet. I bought this humongous carving board, and I bought like 10 things of cheese and 5 things of different crackers, and I had fruits all over it, and my friend put it together for me, and it's Insta-worthy, so hop on over to my Instagram. It should be there. It was epic, and I don't even know why I made any other food because that's all we ate. I also have been making some Smitten Kitchen recipes, which I made their peanut butter cookies. Not the ones with the sea salt. There are other ones that are rolled in sugar. They're delicious. Do it. And I made her spaghetti pie, which I would lessen the amount of pepper I put in next time, but it was really, really good. Really, really good! So, smittenkitchen.com, guys. Follow her on Instagram. Her recipes are really good. And I know we're always trying to figure out what to make for dinner. She has the answer. Speaking of the wedding shower and that cheese board, I bought this pesto by Gotham Greens, which has no preservatives in it, nothing. It's like basil, garlic, Parmesan, and I think that might be it. It's delicious, and I have been literally like just licking the container and dipping anything I can find in it. Yesterday, like last night, I dipped breadsticks in it at like midnight. This morning, I put like potato chips in it, which doesn't sound good, but the pesto is so good it doesn't matter. So, guys, I recommend that. I've been watching Twin Peaks. I always heard Kristen Vulenvine-Lehrer talk about it, and I was like, what is Twin Peaks? What is it? And then my friend Nickwich9, you know, Nicole, she was here one day, and she's like, no, sit down, we're watching it. And I was like, that is mad creepy. We watch episode 1, I'm like, that is just weird. But the cinematic, you know, appreciation just came out of me because it's funny and dark and a little gory, and then just funny again. It's like ridiculous. But you fall in love with the characters and it makes you want to go there, even though everyone like keeps dying. But I know they did 2 seasons and then they just did another season like last year or the year before. So I'm almost done with season 2. I guess it was just dropped or canceled or whatever. The good stuff is always canceled. And so I'm going to get to the new season soon, and I'm kind of excited. I love Kyle MacLachlan. I just think he's funny. You know, Portlandia, he was the mayor. He's just funny. He was on Sex and the City. He wasn't very funny there, but still liked him. So, and Nickwich just met him. I mean, go over to @Nickwich, NICWICH9. She met him. She went to a winery and she met Kyle MacLachlan. And I'm like, dude, you could have brought me with you. I don't drink. So I guess she didn't think to bring me to a winery. Go figure. If famous people are there, I'll go. I actually really like going to wineries. They have cheese plates. I like cheese. I'm a huge Drew Barrymore fan. I love her. For years now, I've loved her for like probably 20 or 30 years. And so, yeah, since E.T. Yeah. She's in this show called The Santa Clarita Diet, and it is so funny. The first episode, I was knitting and watching it. It was like real late at night. I'm like, what should I Netflix? And I just put it on because I'm like, it's Drew and Timothy Oliphant, which never a problem looking at him. He's adorable. So I was like, how bad could it be? Drew chooses great projects and I trust her. And I laughed so hard that all the makeup I had on was literally burning my eyes and my face was totally wet. I had to take my glasses off because they were fogging up. It made me laugh that hard. So I recommend the Santa Clarita Diet if you need something to watch. It's gory. It's totally gory and disgusting, but it's really, really funny. So don't watch it when your children are in the room unless they're like in their late teens, but it's really funny, guys. Did I say it's funny? It's really funny. Anyway, I think I remembered to hit upon everything. Looking around, I think I did. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to put up those threads in my Ravelry group so you guys can enter for the giveaways. My Destash is going up on Friday at noon, so I hope you watch this before that. If you don't, there's other chances. So follow Gemma Darling's Destash because I'm going to be doing probably 2 or 3 different drops. I'm doing it by weight, and then I'm going to turn the account over to one of my friends who's going to do one in June, and then see if any other friends wanted to do a drop in July. So if you follow Gemma Darling Destash, I'm going to try to keep things happening. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Comment heavily, talk to me. I love talking to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.